Right at the top of Northern Ireland sit two of the most unique visitor attractions in the world.
Michelle, tell them what we know about the Giant Causeway.
We don't know a lot, but we're about to find out.
Between them, the Giant's Causeway and Carrick-a-Rede rope bridge host over 1.5 million visitors every year.
What sort of questions do you find that you ask the most?
Mainly is where's the toilet?
The responsibility for looking after them and the sites themselves is the job of the National Trust staff and volunteers.
You get people doing really what we would call crazy things.
Don't like people doing handstands on the stones.
It's 100 feet high. If they end up down there, we won't rescue them. They'll have to pet the sharks.
Come with us behind the scenes to meet the people who make it work.
It's never a problem. It's never a problem. And if it is, you just say it's not anyway.
Was it crack here? Oh, here is very good crack.
Welcome to the Causeway Coast. It's 8:30 and the staff of the Giant's Causeway are preparing for the day ahead with duty managers John and Neville.
Morning, girls and boys. All right, Lewis, name badge. Morning, Fabian. French.
Okay, good morning, everybody. You do better than that. That's more like it. There's a team of over 25 just in the learning and visitor experience team. If you haven't the right person who actually is not proactive in speaking to the visitor, it's not really giving them the best experience. In fact, it's not doing much for the team morale either.
Meanwhile, at Carrick-a-Rede, duty manager Lawrence is hosting their morning meeting.
It's going to be quite a busy day because we have the last day of bank holiday in South of Ireland. So we'll start with quite a lot of coaches in the morning. In terms of weather today, it's going to be dry.
Conservation and safety are incredibly important at both sites. So before any visitors arrive, David checks the ropes at Carrick-a-Rede and Jen does the morning check for rockfalls at the Giant's Causeway.
So this one's down, it's not been down long, because the grass, by the grass it's not going on. But it's clear of the path and I don't see any further movement up there. Some people also think we're maybe being a little bit too cautious and they go over the bars and they maybe go, oh well, there's only a couple of rocks here. It's like, well, that's because we've cleared the rest of the rocks. That's what's come down since we cleared it.
The money that visitors bring in helps National Trust to look after the sites, but with so many visitors every day, both locations need crowd management systems. The rope bridge has timed tickets to avoid congestion and all coaches are pre-booked. Today at the Causeway, that's 49 coaches full of excited visitors.
Every day brings something different, so you never know what you're going to get, and that's why we print off all the tickets, so when the coaches start arriving, we can have everything ready for them.
That's as long as they arrive for the slot they've booked.
Who do you say it was?
Tune.
They're very early.
It's 11 AM at Carrick-a-Rede and Lawrence is also processing a lot of coaches, but with even less space.
So now we have a bit of an issue, and there is an accident on the motorway, so our book coaches will be delayed, so we have to work with that. They'll be coming in the same time with other slots, and that will mean that at one point we'll be very, very busy. We only have provision for 12 spaces, but we'll make some space somewhere. The most we parked on site was 25 coaches. On top of each other.
There's 49 coaches booked in for the whole day. Sometimes you have maybe 10 coaches arriving on top of that. Margot's now processing this coach, so it takes about 5 minutes per coach. That's why we have 3 coaches arriving in every 15 minutes.
We are a huge site with a lot of people coming through, so we have to make sure that you're not actually annoying people by making them stand in the queues or standing in lanes. So we have a slick operations.
Bushmills, have you been down in the distillery? We're going to the distillery. Oh, you're going. Wise move, always come here first. Brilliant. Okay, Fabian, process them.
I've been working with Neville for about 5 years. We have a lot of entertainment. He is an entertainer, a born living entertainer, and honestly, visitors just love him.
What part of Germany?
From Mainz.
Mainz.
This is a nice wine area.
Good wine area?
Yes.
I'm very partial to a glass of wine.
At the rope bridge, Lawrence is also very popular with visitors, wherever they're from.
Welcome, how are you? Where are you from yourselves? Entiende inglese? Sì? Italy. Allora, benvenuti. Prima volta in Irlanda?
With visitors from over 178 different countries, it's important that the staff have a range of options to get over any language barriers.
We've got Alfonso, he is multilingual. an absolute superstar.
People call me the Fonz for short.
He speaking 4 different languages. He's just that naturally gifted when he's talking to people. If I could have another 10 of Fonzos, I would take him.
Around a half of our visitors here, they don't have English as a native language, so it's easier if somebody is able to speak their language, to interact with them. I really feel here at home.
We do provide audio guides for 11 different languages, because if they didn't, they'd be going just thinking, are these just a bunch of rocks? But of course they're not. There's so much history to them.
So that's it there in Japanese now.
It's lunchtime, and both sites are already nearing capacity as Ellen makes sure the rules of the rope bridge are closely followed.
We're only allowed 8 on at the bridge at a time, so just trying to keep this under control. You didn't think you would need masks for this job, do you? Just like, all right guys, go on ahead.
They like to bounce, obviously, because it was a boring day. There's no wind over there. But my colleagues obviously don't really allow that because some people can have a panic attack. One customer actually told me that he knew a guy who went in the water a long, long time ago, and the guy said that the first 99 feet were fine, the last one hurt a little bit. Okay.
Although safety is the chief concern, entertaining the visitors is also a priority for the staff.
What we try and encourage is to get in there, tell them the stories of Finn McCool. A bit like Neville earlier on. Tell them of what's out there and let's just blow it up. Let's make it bigger and better and tell them why we do it here.
Mother Nature has nothing to do with this place being made. It really is built and made by an Irish giant.
Whenever I first started, you have the tendency just to kind of spill everything out as quick as you can, and I learned quite quickly over time that the best thing to do is just to kind of stop yourself and to sort of let it sort of flow.
If you have any problem with the Irish version of English, just let me know and I'll try and go a bit slower.
Sometimes being patient with the public can be a challenge, especially with some of the things they ask and do.
The main one is, are these rocks here all year round?
Do we pack it away in the winter?
Is this man-made? One of the answers that I'll give people is, well, we have the worst building crew out here. They downed tools about 64 million years ago and they haven't come back.
I've had skinny dippers down here before.
Yoga routines, karate, we've had a couple, there's like a big international karate competition in Northern Ireland last summer, so we had all the guys down there like their kit and their pyjamas and doing all their poses.
You will see during the day people with high heels, flip-flops, all kinds of shoes here. They expect to be a day of shopping in Dublin, which is not.
Despite his desire to entertain, John also has to keep control of the logistics, making sure everything runs smoothly.
You have to be organised. If you're not, this place could turn to absolute chaos. Just very simple. Put in the dates today. So, look at the 5th of May. Doesn't... June. As you can see, doesn't always go to plan. 5th of May, you see, birthdays in May, you see. Just every day just has its toll.
As well as the National Trust staff that work at the Causeway, they also rely heavily on their army of volunteers, like Sandra.
When I retired from work, I decided that I still had some things that I could offer. When I moved back from England to here, I came and started working at the Giant's Causeway. I love it.
In the summer especially, volunteers are essential, as both sites operate most days at full capacity.
Today we had 1,900 people. We sold out. No casualties, no emergency service. That's always a good day.
And with the amount of visitors that you get down here, it is just manic. So it's important to us that they've actually had a very enjoyable time when they're here.
It is really fulfilling and really motivating whenever you get visitors who come back to you at the end of a tour and they tell you that they've really enjoyed that. And I think that's really what motivates me.
I love my job here. It's absolutely superb. Every day is so different, but it's just the team that you're working around you, that you can rely on them on a daily basis.
Bonsoir, mesdames et messieurs. Thank you for visiting the Giant's Causeway. We'd like to inform you that the visitor centre is now closed.
It's the end of the day, and as over 6,000 visitors make their way off the sites, the staff lock up, ready to do it all again tomorrow.